Welcome back to my channel Rare Coins Shop. If you love discovering hidden treasures, you're in the right place. Today, we're revealing some coins that could be worth way more than you think. Stick around to find out. New here? Like, subscribe, and let's dive in. We're taking a deep dive into one of the most fascinating and historically significant quarters in the U.S. Mint's collection, the 2016 P. Theodore Roosevelt State Quarter. This coin, part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, is more than just pocket change. It's a piece of history that could be worth a small fortune. Now, let's start by exploring why this coin is so important. Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States, is a giant in American history. Known for his leadership during the early 20th century, his legacy includes significant contributions to conservation, the expansion of the national park system, and his larger-than-life personality that forever shaped the nation's path. So, it makes perfect sense that a quarter would be dedicated to him, especially as part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which celebrates the country's most beautiful and historically important landmarks. Theodore Roosevelt was instrumental in the creation of the U.S. National Park System, and the design of the 2016 P. Theodore Roosevelt Quarter reflects his love for nature and his push for environmental conservation. Released in 2016, the coin features an image of Theodore Roosevelt himself, along with a scene from the Theodore Roosevelt National Park, which was established in his honor in North Dakota. On the reverse side, the coin features the park's rugged terrain, including bison grazing in the background, a nod to Roosevelt's commitment to preserving the natural beauty and wildlife of the American West. The design beautifully captures Roosevelt's spirit of adventure and his role in the conservation movement that continues to resonate today. But what makes the 2016 P. Theodore Roosevelt Quarter so valuable? Well, just like with any collectible coin, the value depends on a few key factors: rarity, condition, and demand. While most people might think of quarters as everyday currency with a fixed value of just 25 cents, the reality is that certain coins, especially those with historical significance and unique features, can be worth far more. The Theodore Roosevelt Quarter is a prime example of this. First, let's talk about rarity. While millions of these quarters were minted, not all of them were preserved in pristine condition. Coins that have been circulated, spent, and exposed to daily wear and tear are common and generally hold only their face value. However, uncirculated coins, those that have never been used in commerce, are much rarer. These coins are in perfect condition, with sharp, clean details and no wear on the design. The number of uncirculated 2016 P. Theodore Roosevelt quarters is limited, which means they're more sought after by collectors. Now, let's get into the condition of the coin. A coin's condition plays a massive role in determining its worth. Coins that are in mint condition or have been preserved well are far more valuable than those that have been used in everyday transactions. A coin that has been carefully stored in a protective holder, away from damage, has a much higher chance of fetching a higher price in the collector's market. Coins that have never been in circulation are often given a grade by professional grading companies, with higher grades indicating superior quality. For example, a coin that has been graded as MS 70, meaning it is perfect with no flaws, will be far more valuable than one that is graded as only MS 60 or lower. But there's more to the story: minting errors. Minting errors are a goldmine for collectors. If a coin was struck incorrectly during the minting process, it can lead to variations that make it incredibly unique. Examples of minting errors can include double strikes, off-center designs, or misaligned engravings. These errors can make a coin one of a kind and dramatically increase its value. The 2016 P. Theodore Roosevelt Quarter is no exception. If you happen to have a coin with a minting error, it could be worth much more than a regular, well-preserved coin. Now, let's talk about why collectors are so eager to get their hands on this particular coin. The 2016 P. Theodore Roosevelt Quarter, like all coins in the America the Beautiful Quarters program, celebrates a specific landmark or figure in American history. Because it honors Theodore Roosevelt and his role in the preservation of the nation's wilderness, the coin carries a certain historical weight. Roosevelt's conservation efforts and his role in the creation of national parks like Theodore Roosevelt National Park in North Dakota give the coin added value. Coins tied to famous historical figures or events tend to have greater appeal among collectors and history enthusiasts alike, making them highly sought after. Now, here's the exciting part: what's the real value of this coin? If you happen to own a 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be looking at a significant increase in its worth. But what if your coin happens to have a minting error, or if you have one of the rarest examples in perfect condition? It could be worth a whole lot more. In fact, a well-preserved, uncirculated 2016 Theodore Roosevelt quarter, especially one with a minting error, can fetch as much as $40,000. Yes, you heard me right, $40,000 for a single coin. It's incredible to think that a quarter, which most people pass by without a second glance, could hold such immense value. But that's the world of coin collecting for you. Hidden treasures are everywhere, often right under our noses. If you think you might have one of these rare and valuable quarters in your collection, it's worth taking a closer look. Check for minting errors, assess the coin's condition, and consider getting it professionally graded. You never know, you might just be holding onto a rare piece of American history that could be worth a lot more than you thought. Second rare coin, we're going to take a deep dive into the 2017 Frederick Douglass quarter, a unique coin that not only celebrates a remarkable historical figure but also holds the potential to be worth quite a bit of money. You might be surprised at how valuable this quarter can be, so make sure to stay with us until the end to discover its worth. The 2017 Frederick Douglass quarter is part of the America the Beautiful Quarters program, which honors the history, culture, and natural wonders of the United States. Released in 2017, this particular quarter commemorates the life and legacy of Frederick Douglass, a man who is widely considered one of the greatest American leaders of the 19th century. Douglass was an escaped slave who went on to become a powerful abolitionist, writer, and speaker, advocating for the freedom and equality of African Americans. His contributions to the fight for civil rights are still remembered and celebrated today. The design of the Frederick Douglass quarter is striking, and it does a brilliant job of capturing the essence of Douglass's legacy. On the obverse side of the coin, you'll find a striking portrait of Frederick Douglass himself. The coin features a detailed engraving of his face, with his signature beard and piercing eyes that convey the strength of his character. Around the portrait, you'll see the words, Frederick Douglass, along with the year of his birth, 1818, and the year of his death, 1895. The reverse side of the coin depicts the Freedom Memorial in Washington, D.C., a powerful symbol of Douglass's lifelong commitment to the fight for equality and justice. The Freedom Memorial was built in honor of the contributions of African Americans to the nation's history, and it serves as a fitting tribute to Douglass's impact. But why is this coin so valuable? Well, it all comes down to a few key factors: rarity, condition, and historical significance. Let's break it down. First of all, as with any coin, the rarity of the 2017 Frederick Douglass quarter plays a huge role in its value. Although millions of these coins were minted, the ones that are the most valuable are those that were kept in pristine condition and were never used in circulation. These coins are known as uncirculated coins, and they have sharp, crisp details and no signs of wear. In contrast, most coins that have been used in daily transactions will show signs of wear and have a reduced value, but condition isn't the only thing that makes the Frederick Douglass quarter valuable. The historical significance of the coin is another key factor. This quarter isn't just a piece of currency, it's a tribute to an American hero who played a crucial role in shaping the nation's history. Frederick Douglass's impact on the abolitionist movement, his work as a writer and orator, and his legacy as a pioneer for civil rights make this coin highly desirable among collectors. Coins that commemorate significant historical figures or events tend to hold more value than others, and the Douglass quarter is no exception. Now, let's talk about a particular detail that can really make a difference in the coin's value: the mint mark. The 2017 Frederick Douglass quarter was minted at the Philadelphia Mint, and this P mint mark can be an important factor in determining the coin's worth. In the past, coins with a P mint mark were relatively rare, and collectors took notice of these distinctive coins. The 2017 P quarter is part of a special series that includes quarters with the P mint mark, and collectors who are keen on completing their collections will specifically look for coins from this series. The combination of the P mint mark and the coin's historical design gives it added appeal. Another factor that contributes to the coin's value is the possibility of minting errors. When coins are struck at the US Mint, sometimes errors occur. These errors could include misaligned designs, double strikes, or other unusual characteristics that make the coin stand out from the others. If you happen to have a 2017 P Frederick Douglass quarter with a minting error, it could be worth far more than a typical example of the coin. Minting errors are highly sought after by collectors because they are rare and unique, making them valuable additions to any collection. So, you may be wondering, how much is the 2017 P Frederick Douglass quarter actually worth? Well, if you happen to have one of these quarters in excellent, uncirculated condition, it could be worth a significant amount of money. But if your coin has one of those rare minting errors or is in pristine condition, the value can skyrocket. A high-quality 2017 P Frederick Douglass quarter in uncirculated condition has been known to fetch as much as $15,000, yes, you heard it right, $15,000 for a single coin. It's incredible to think that something as small as a quarter, which most people might overlook in their change, could hold such immense value. Whether it's because of its rarity, historical importance, or the condition of the coin, the 2017 P Frederick Douglass quarter is one to keep an eye on. If you happen to come across one of these coins, be sure to check its condition carefully and look for any potential minting errors. If you're new to coin collecting or just starting to explore the world of valuable coins, the 2017 P Frederick Douglass quarter is a great example of how history, art, and rarity come together to create a piece of currency worth much more than its face value. Whether you're holding it for its investment potential or simply admiring it as a tribute to one of America's most important historical figures, this coin is a must-have for any serious collector. Third expensive coin, we've got something really special for you, a deep dive into the 2003 P Arkansas State Quarter. This quarter is not just a piece of change, it's a part of U.S. history, and depending on its condition and certain features, it could be worth far more than you might think. So, let's take a closer look at why the Arkansas State Quarter is one of those hidden gems in coin collecting that could bring you a pretty penny. As part of the 50 State Quarters program, the 2003 P Arkansas Quarter was released in honor of the state's history and heritage. If you're not familiar with the 50 State Quarters program, it was a groundbreaking initiative by the U.S. Mint that started in 1999 and ran until 2008. Each year, 5 states were honored with a new design for their quarter, celebrating significant aspects of their history, culture, and landmarks. The Arkansas State Quarter was the 25th quarter to be released, and it certainly didn't disappoint with its beautiful design. On the obverse side, you'll find the standard George Washington portrait, as with all U.S. quarters. But it's the reverse side that really steals the show with the Arkansas design. The Arkansas State Quarter features the image of a stunning natural scene. On it, we see a depiction of a diamond, referencing the famous crater of Diamond State Park located in Arkansas, which is the only public diamond mine in the world where visitors can search for real diamonds and keep whatever they find. The design also includes a beautiful view of a river and a pine tree, representing the state's lush landscapes and natural beauty. This design is a perfect tribute to Arkansas's unique history and its reputation for outdoor adventures, but what makes this coin even more exciting to collectors is not just the beauty of its design, but its potential value. When most people think of quarters, they probably think they're just worth 25 cents. But as we all know, in the world of numismatics, certain coins can be worth a lot more than their face value, and the Arkansas State Quarter is a prime example of this. The main factor that can influence the value of the 2003 P Arkansas Quarter is its condition. Like all coins, the value increases significantly if the coin is in uncirculated condition. Coins that have been used in daily transactions will naturally show wear and tear, which can diminish their value. However, an uncirculated Arkansas state quarter that has been carefully preserved can be worth much more. These coins have sharp details, no signs of wear, and can look as if they were freshly minted. The rarity of uncirculated coins is what makes them desirable to collectors, especially when they're from a specific state like Arkansas, with a distinct and meaningful design. Another thing to consider is the mint mark. The 2003 Arkansas state quarter was minted in Philadelphia, and it features the P mint mark. While mint marks may seem like small details, they can play a big role in a coin's value. Some collectors have a preference for certain mint marks, and the P mint mark from Philadelphia has become highly sought after in recent years, particularly for coins that are in excellent condition. But there's more. A coin's worth can sometimes skyrocket if it contains any minting errors. Minting errors occur when a coin is struck incorrectly, which can result in some truly unique and rare coins. Errors like double strikes, misalignments, or the inclusion of extra features, like a second mint mark, can significantly increase the value of a coin. These types of errors are rare, but if you happen to come across an Arkansas state quarter with a minting error, you could be holding on to a very valuable piece of currency. Now, let's get to the exciting part. How much could a 2003 P Arkansas state quarter be worth? If you happen to have one of these quarters in excellent, uncirculated condition, it could be worth a good amount. But if you have one with a rare minting error, or it's in particularly pristine condition, the value could be even higher than you might expect. In fact, some well-preserved 2003 P Arkansas state quarters have been known to sell for as much as $15,000. Yes, you read that correctly, $15,000 for a single coin. It's incredible to think that something as common as a quarter could be worth such a hefty sum. But that's the world of coin collecting. It's filled with surprises, and you never know when you might come across a hidden treasure. If you have a 2003 P Arkansas state quarter, be sure to check its condition and see if it has any unique characteristics or minting errors that could increase its value. You might just have a coin worth far more than its face value. And remember, the rarity and the beauty of the design, along with its historical significance, make this quarter a must-have for collectors. So, whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just starting out, the 2003 P Arkansas state quarter is a coin you should definitely keep an eye on. Thanks for tuning in to today's video. I hope you learned something new and are feeling inspired to take a closer look at your coin collection. If you have any thoughts or questions about coin collecting, or if you found a rare coin in your own collection, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. And of course, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss any of our future videos. Until next time, happy collecting.